Hey everyone, welcome to another week. I have my table all the way pulled out, which is why we're facing a different direction, because why not use the big table for a live stream? Anyway, I don't really have a lot to show for this week, if I'm being honest. I've been working on altering wedding clothes for my friends. I have his suit and her dress. They are both done, but I'm not going to be showing them to you because they are keeping their wedding clothes a secret until their wedding, which is in a month. And I don't feel like I can post any of that on the internet until after then. But yeah. I do have a video on the alterations for his suit that I filmed. I did not film the alterations for her dress, mainly because dress alterations are complicated and I didn't want to feel like I had to film every detail of it while doing it. I didn't want the distraction, essentially. But men's tailoring is a thing, and it can be a very expensive thing, and we basically did, like, other than sleeves, we did all of the basic alterations on his suit. So, like, taking in the center back seam on the coat, doing the waist, tapering the legs a bit, and a hem. That's majority of what tailors do when you're tailoring in a suit shop. So, I will have a video on that later. But other than that, I really haven't done much. Oh, I made a dress last week. That was the other thing. I am pattern testing for a small pattern company called Cosido. And they have specifically asked not to do any like tutorial type videos on the dress. And so yeah, I've done a lot of work this week. I just don't have anything to show for it. If you're wondering what that dress looks like, it is the green and brown floral fruity one on my Instagram, which totally love that dress. But yeah. This week for myself, which I kind of am filming and I'm kind of not, I've started on making an Edwardian shirtwaist that has pin tucks in it. Mostly because I got tired of waiting for my, insertion lace to arrive. And I thought a pin tuck blouse is equally as cool as an insertion lace blouse. So I'm going to be doing that. This is going to be the yoke. I'm just doing it out of like the full piece because I don't know how much the pin tucks will like pleat it down. And then I'm going to gather the body piece into the yoke after I have all the pin tucks in, and cut that down to size. So that is really all of the things I've been working on. Last Saturday, my friend Casey and I did have a fitting party. This infamous fitting party that I've been talking about forever. We didn't film, well, it's a lie. We filmed like marking the hem on one dress, but literally nothing else. So you're not gonna get a vloggy thing of the fitting party, but I will go through everything and tell you guys the verdict of everything. Because there's some alterations I need to make the fit work and things, and some plans on how to do that. Casey, I'm usually really good at vlogging our adventures. You're the one that's bad, and we kind of both just got excited and distracted, so it's okay. We don't need to vlog every time we hang out. Anyway. So, oh heavens, there's like yards and yards of fabric at my feet. But the first thing I pulled up was the hoop skirt. The hoop skirt is just fine. We are doing nothing to that. I mean, other than being ridiculously huge, this hoop skirt's fine. bodice. Okay. So when we put on the bodice, it was too tight in the arm size, but it should be a really easy fix. I'll just have to take apart the arm size and lower them so they're at just one eyelet down. It'll give me a 1/2 inch extra room and fit really nice and tight. Well, really nicely where I want it to. I remember making this alteration before I'd sewn the whole thing together when I made my silver Ravenclaw dress, but for some reason it just didn't click in my head that it needed to be a thing for this dress as well. But yeah, I do have eyelets already sewn in, so we're not going to be able to get like as close to the edge as like this eyelet. We're probably going to be like 1/4 of an inch out, but that's fine. It'll still give me the room that I need to be able to wear this comfortably. The other thing that I'm going to do on the bodice is I'm going to bone underneath these guards to stiffen it. So what we noticed when I had put it on over the self-supportive bodice was the point of it kept flipping up. And it also kind of, like when it was down, it was like crumpled over like where the bodice meets the skirt, which is totally expected because the bodice for this dress is not heavily supported in any way. But if I add the 3 bones on either side and then down the middle, then it'll be perfect. Let me change the angle real quick. There we go. Now I feel like you can see when I move my hands instead of just seeing them like flash on screen. Okay. So the self-supportive bodice is perfect. The only thing that I'm kind of sad about is that the linen has stretched out. I should have expected that, but I didn't. So what we're going to do is what I'm going to do is put skirt hooks on the inside of the bodice that will attach to the lining, so that way this self-supportive bodice doesn't peek out at all. But other than that, I'm going to put guards down the center front. We marked the hem with chalk, which has stayed very nicely. You guys can't see that in the camera. Oh, you can. It's right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure about 6 inches down, right? 4 inches down? No, because I need, okay, yes. I'm going to measure about 6 inches down. That way, somewhere above where the bottom guards are going to be, I can have a 3-inch pleat. And then like the hem will be here, and there's going to be a brown guard in the middle. This is really common this is actually a historical thing on both the Eleanor to Toledo burial dress as well as the Crimson Peace gown. Both of them had a tuck. Depending on what research you read, that tells you how big the tuck is on the burial gown. I'm pointing right there because I was moving things around on my cubes, trying to get things set up so I could have like a top-down view. Apparently, I like bumped my cubes too much, and she fell down and hit my computer monitor and landed on top of the laptop, and I was so worried I broke something, but everything's working fine. Anyway, so she's down here for now. I need to put her back up, but I can't get to that corner when my table's all the way out. Anyway, long story short. Yes, depending on what research you read and what references you use will tell you how big the pleat on this, yeah, I guess it's more like a tuck, like the tuck on the skirt for the burial gown is. If you read the Patterns of Fashion, it makes it sound like it like tapers out from the center guard. And then is like deeper in the back than it is in like the sides and the front. There are a couple theories that I have as to why they would do that. Number one being for growth. or for like hand-me-down dresses to like take up the hem and make them the appropriate length. The more plausible one, especially if you're having dresses made for you, is that that pleat actually gives a lot of structure to the dress. I noticed when I was making the mini version of the Crimson Pizza dress that as soon as I put that tuck in, it was like I had put a crinoline underneath that dress. Now, of course, it's in small scale, and if I try to replicate that in a large scale, it's not going to be the same, but it still adds that dimension and that depth. So I'm thinking that when I put the tuck in here, I actually want to put like a band of like lightweight canvas, like what I used to stiffen the bodies with, in the hem, so that way that tuck is a little bit thicker. Oh, excuse me. And so that way it adds more body to the hem. Alternatively, I could add like horsehair braid, but I'm trying to make this dress like as historical as possible, so we'll see. I'm hoping I can get this skirt and the alterations to this bodice done next week. Oh, excuse me. Oh, which then would just leave the overdress and then the sleeves for this dress. So, when we fit the overdress, it actually fit really well, and I was really happy with how it fit, so I'm just going to continue on with the process there. It needs a lining and a hem, and I need to figure out closures. I'm thinking I want to do hook and eye closures up the front, because I patterned matched it really well, and I don't want buttons or buttonholes to like mess up that pattern matching at all. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. So, all right, moving on to this. So we are now on to my ball gown. My ball gown is probably going to take the most amount of alteration, but I kind of expected that, and that's why I don't have any sort of lining sewn in at all. So I'm going to have to take up the shoulders just the tiniest bit, so that way they stay on my shoulder and don't slide off at all. It also helps with the fit of the neckline, which is really important, especially when you're trying to get like a really nice smooth look, which I'm definitely going to be trying to do in the ball gown. I'm really confused. Casey, I'm going to have to ask you how you like pin together this back later. I think I'm going to have to end up moving the center back placket, which is fine. I'm just confused. And then we also marked how much I need to hem it up in the back, and how to get that center front point that I'm going to want to get. We're probably going to end up doing the same thing to this bodice as we are to the Spanish gown, as far as using skirt hooks to attach everything. I'm probably going to use threaded bars on the skirt though, so that way I can wear the skirt with other things, and not have it look like there's random skirt hooks everywhere. Because I have thread that is just about this color that will blend in nicely for threaded bars. But the doing the hem, let's see. Jealous you guys were able to have a fitting party. She can do it my hooks and eyes, but that's about it. Yeah, we're really fortunate. I did spend more time in the car than at Casey's house on Saturday, but it was worth it because now I can finish these. But yeah. I'm so confused. Anyway, we also marked the hem of this. Which I'm going to have to like officially mark and even out and do all that stuff because we were doing a lot. And like the hem of this is really uneven anyway. So, like, there we go. There's the key point where it's just like there's so much difference in that section right there. So trying to figure out how to make the hem even and everything was kind of fun. I am going to like double check all of the measurements and make sure that I can make it as even as possible when I hem it, because the last thing I want to do is to actually hem this thing and then realize, oh, that hem is off in like 3 months after I've put all the applique on the hem on, and it's really hard to change. So yeah, I think that is everything that we had fit. This is probably going to be a really short live because I don't have much to talk about and to show you guys. So, I would take you over to the whiteboard, but there has literally been no progress. Ooh, I can't talk today. There's literally been no progress on the whiteboard. Right? Bum pad, bodice, skirt, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of progress on my Spanish dress in the next few weeks, but until I get my accent fabric in, which is not due in for another month, there's not going to be much project on my ball gown. Kind of upset about that, but it's just ordering fabric these days is just how it works. So, yeah. Slow boat from China? No, I ordered it from a company that I order like a lot of fabrics from, especially when I don't care about fiber content. But they've put some pretty strict like social distancing rules into their factory, because I'm pretty sure they get everything like woven in China and then like ship it to their warehouse. Their warehouse is in New